Welcome back, gaming gang. I finally had time to make a video about my experience playing Expedition 33. Now, this game wasn't very long for starters if you're playing it for 4 to 8 hours on end like I did and sticking to the main campaign. Anyway, this video contains small spoilers, but I won't say too much as I get into its greatness. Things begin in this world where most people, or rather adults, don't live their full lives and become one with the earth by being gomaged. Now, a lot of folks are aware of this and they send these expeditioners out to defeat this being known as the Paintress. She sits on this island very far away, and like there's a monolith in the distance that you can see always when in certain areas of the game. And as closer as you get, you'll get to see more and how huge it really is, you know, just compared to when you're like far away. But anyway, every year the Paintress reduces the number by 1, but things appear different after 67 tries, which would make this Expedition 33. Initially, you play as Gustav before you hit the islands, which is where you start to take control of other characters such as Mael, Lune, Sael, etc. Each have a unique personality and abilities that can be powerful as long as you play your cards right. Like any RPG, it has a leveling system that increases as you progress through the game. I had fun exploring what the open world had to offer, and the combat system is turn-based but with extra steps. What I mean is that you have the means to parry and dodge attacks when it wasn't your turn. This is crucial to the game, as some battles later on will require you to parry mostly, or you'll never get a turn. The enemies also have different attack patterns, so don't expect the same attack every time or it'll be fatal. I learned that the hard way and died multiple times because it never gave me a hint to do one or the other, and I was pissed. Believe me, I was getting very frustrated with it, and I was just like, man, this is just annoying. I'm gonna turn this game off. But then I thought to myself, I gotta play this. I gotta beat it. My friends have told me how great it is, and just, you gotta do your thing. Anyway, your stats also play a role in how good your characters will be in battle, which you should know. And believe me, when I say I tried to keep things as even as possible, but you would get the hints on where you should send your points if you really didn't get it. So that was neat. Other things that stand out are the weapons and outfits. Now, most of the weapons have specific elements tied to it, which is a good thing for when you're trying to deal weakness damage to an enemy. Most of the time, I tend to adjust where I see fit to make my gaming experience easier, but the designs for some of them were off-putting, but I needed it to win. So again, I had to adjust. As far as outfits go, I'm mostly stuck with the default for all except on occasions because, you know, those just seem like the best to me. I don't really know what they were thinking with the swimsuits, but you know, they were definitely not it for a variety of reasons, but I won't get too much into it. It might be a, you know, an overseas thing of why the swimsuits look like that, but you know, it is what it is. Expedition 33, weirdly enough, also has a romance system, or as I called it, a one-night stand system, which is odd based on how little effort was put into it. It was just like, okay, you're into me, I'm into you, let's have a good night together. And it was just like, what? Like, you guys were married and you just committing adultery and shit? Like, what is this? Like, it was just like, I mean, you wouldn't even know it until you talk things over with your companions, and it's like, oh, so you mean to tell me like last night didn't mean anything? And I was just like, bro, like, we're trying to deal with a very serious issue here, and you're talking about what happened last night. Whatever. Last thing I'll say before finishing things up involving the story is that the OST is beautiful. From battle to environmental, it was all really memorable to me. Some characters even have special themes for when you fight them, so be ready for some bangers. Now, going back to the story, there is some serious heartbreak later that had me drop my jaw, but also made me say, what the heck? I pieced things together pretty early on in the game when I was starting, but it was still out of nowhere like an RKO. Like, it really was. The Viper has struck. Overall, this game is a 9 out of 10, and I definitely vouch for it being like a contender for game of the year. It's an RPG you definitely need to play to understand how good it is. Games like this bring like new life to the genre, so the future of RPGs are in good hands, and I do hope you give this game a try too. I do believe it's still on Xbox Game Pass at the time of this video, so get it for the freebie, you feel me? With that, I hope you all enjoyed the video, support it with many likes and comments. Tune in next time, and I'm out of here.